All right, it says I'm going live. All right, I'm looks like I am live. I guess I am, I guess. I don't know where my phone is. But good morning, everybody. It is January 23rd, 2025, 9 p.m. Just got done with my VA therapist appointment type thing. Everybody should get some type of therapist. Like I said, I enjoy talking to my therapist because I have a degree in social and behavioral science, and doesn't mean I'm an expert, but it has a little do that area of study is a bit of psychology to it. So we bounce ideas off of each other, and I'm just amazed at how what I actually learned in college I'm seeing being utilized. Benny, get back here. Benny keeps trying to sneak off. I don't know why he's doing that, but the Benny project is going well. He's getting better. Like I said, he's starting to mature. It's going to take some time, but he's getting there. So had my VA appointment yesterday, my oncology appointment. Got some stuff going on. I know you guys see me like I'm spotting, and that's because I did not get my infusion like I'm supposed to. So it's a long story, but went yesterday. He's gonna hook me up and take care of some stuff. I go back to the VA tomorrow. So yeah. Yeah. I'm overdue. I know I'm overdue. But anyway, what I want to talk about is, man, people are still crashing out about this election. Talking to a friend of mine, she actually still thinks Kamala Harris is going to be president. And she says that there's something in the Constitution or something where they have to put her in. Nothing against my friend who actually thinks that, but I will say this. She does smoke weed, and not saying that's a contributing factor, but I think her brain is fried, and she's been probably smoking weed for a very, very long time, which is another reason why I look at people and how they think these recreational drugs is no big deal. And these are the same people you will see 10, 12, 15 years down the road, homeless, very addicted, missing teeth, the whole shebang. Their lives have been totally impacted by the decisions they've made. You're not addicted to anything, but you've been doing it for the last 15, 20 years. I'm addicted to basketball, but I had to stop playing because I got older and all that other stuff. I'm addicted to certain things that I had to stop after a while because I couldn't do it anymore. So again, please don't tell me anything about drugs. Deaf ears here. So we've got people doing that. We've got people that don't understand the Constitution, then don't even care to read it. They get most of their information from CSI, these police dramas, and they think they know law, and they really don't. You show them facts. Facts don't matter. It's just lunacy at this point from what I'm seeing from all of these people. So the majority of the people voted for Donald Trump. I mean, he won the majority. It's amazing to me how people talk about how they are for democracy and all this great stuff. And then when democracy is put upon them, they can't accept it. They don't like it. Whatever. Oh, he pardoned the J6 people. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a power he has to do. He has a power to do that. But at the same time, you're not questioning the fact that Joe Biden pardoned his family. Joe Biden put out a pardon for people who didn't do anything. But there's no correlation to that. So when Joe Biden does it or the Democrats do it, that's totally fine, no problem with it. But if Donald Trump does it, it's an issue. Now, do I agree with him giving a pardon to some violent protesters and insurrectionists and all that other stuff? No, I don't agree with it, but that is the system that we operate in, and we have to accept it until we get people in there that want to change it. And I'm noticing a lot of people are going off emotion, especially Black people. They're just so damn emotional. Hold on. I think my friend Bruce is messaging me. Oh, he declared 2 national emergencies. That's my buddy Bruce there, who's living the life in Mexico, living a very good life. Like I said, I'm considering doing that myself and getting away from all this. I'm on YouTube, Bruce. That's why I really can't see your comments unless I kind of go and check into it. But I mean, these people are crashing out based on emotion. I had to tell a friend of mine, as intelligent as my friend is, you have to be more Spock than you do Kirk. Okay? That's a reference to Star Trek. I'm a Trekkie. Spock uses logic. He doesn't let his emotions get involved. He uses logic. Your average logical thinker. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you, my fellow airmen, and to your son. I hope he's doing well in his studies of language. That guy is going to be something one day, and I hope when that day comes, he looks out for us older veterans and folks and do all that. So he wants to quit. He can't quit. Don't tell him. No. And that's another thing a lot of the moms do. And I don't have to tell you this, you average logical thinker. But when I was coming up, my mother was a widow. My mother did not allow my brother or I to start something that we did not finish. If we started it, we had to finish it. So do not let him quit, because I'm seeing a lot of kids, because their mothers or their friends and stuff. Oh, you ain't got to do that, son. You ain't got to do. Don't worry about it. And now we got these milk toast men running around that the women are complaining about because they have a female mentality. He's a young man, and I'm not telling you how to raise your son, but don't let him quit. If he starts something, do not let him quit. He switched to a female teacher and he don't like her. I told them that we finish what we start in this family. Exactly. Facts. And then, like I said, if it's the issue of the teacher, then if he needs a male teacher, that's different. Have him say, okay, we're going to, until we can get you another teacher, continue to do what you need to do, young man. Continue to do what you need to do, but we're not going to quit, because we have raised a nation, I think in the last 30 years, of whataboutisms and quitters. When it gets too tough, well, I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to do that no more. So it's pretty sad. No, don't give in. No, keep your. Let me tell you something, Sergeant. Let me tell you something. All right. I can say from my experience being raised by a woman. Okay. Yes, my mom was in the Army just like you. My mom has military background just like you. She's what it is, right? My mother didn't give me any options. Okay. She told me what I was going to do. And my brother and I, and we executed, and we are that much better for it. Okay. I have family members and friends that let their kids decide what the kids are going to do. The kids run the parents. You understand what I'm saying? The kids are running the parents, and then the kids are ending up nothings, the way I look at it, because when you give your kids everything, what will they strive for? Right? My mother was in a position to, put me, I could go to school, I could do these things like that, but no, I had to find my own path. My mother was there to help guide me on that path, but I had to find my own path. If I wanted to go to school, I had to show that is what I really want to do. Because my mother ain't going to waste her money and her time on something I'm just playing around with. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't start taking school seriously until, quick story, your average logical thinker. I'm 6 to 8 years in the military, staff sergeant. And in the Air Force, you have your CCF ceremony, right? And I had a commander that when one of our members in our squadron was graduating CCF, we all would go and support. You had to be in attendance, right? That very white boy that I was going to the NCO club with, that I was partying with, he was the down white boy. You know what I mean? We show up at the ceremony, right? We're all, mechanics and stuff, crew chiefs and stuff like that. And, we're kind of like, where's where's Chris? Where's John? Where are these guys? Now, remember the brothers, we're all cool, got our little, tops, and we're always cool constantly, right? So as the ceremony's going on, I see John and Chris walking across the stage. He partied with us, did the same stuff as us, but somehow, some way, they found time to go to school and get their CCF degree. That woke my black ass up because I was falling into the trick bag of doing military service, and I was trying to get out. I'm thinking, I don't want to be in here forever. I'll get out and then go to school on the GI Bill as a 22. I'm 8 years in, so I'm about 25, right? Because I went in at 17. So I'm about 25. I'm going to be a 25-year-old freshman going into college when I could be a 25-year-old junior going into college, completing the other 2 years, if that was what I was going to do. I saw that white boy go across that stage, man. You're talking about shame, embarrassment, the whole nine. But basically, I learned a very, very valuable lesson. That's when I started taking school seriously. And I started getting all these degrees, and I started sending, my mom worked for Geological Survey at this time. And I was sending her all these degrees, right? And that's when the big paper mail degrees that still exist today was going on. And I was mailing these things to my mom, and she thought I was, forging these things. And when I was talking to my mom, I said, Mom, why would I forge something and then send them to you of all people? That wouldn't make sense. But, that's because, she's looking at all these degrees and she's like, who would get all these degrees and do all this? Not until she saw me graduate. I had to go down there literally and, take her to the graduation. Her and my brother went to the graduation down in Daytona, that she really, accepted. Well, not that she doubted it, but it was like, something's not right here because I'm sending all these degrees. Then she really saw me, it was the real deal. Because at that point, I started taking my education seriously and realized I'm no fool. If this guy could find the time and everything that he's doing, I can do it too. So a long story short, don't let him quit. It's a lot harder today, I think, than it was back in our day. Kids got all this technology, but they have all these distractions at the same time. So any leverage you can give him, please continue to do that. Let's see what you said. You said, thanks, I need that confirmation. I've seen that happen too. I know where this is going. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Different kind of motivation. Wow. I can see how that graduation woke you up. She had to see it to believe it. Yeah. She, she believed it, but it was just like, and a lot of people, they were just like, wait a minute, because I was doing the DSSTs and the CLEPs. And if you look at, I still got the transcripts. Every time I would fly into a different base, and if it was like around lunchtime, I would go to the education office, and back when I was in, CLEPs were free. If you failed it, you could just retake it in 6 months, free. Now I think the rule is if you fail it that one time, if you have to retest, it comes out of your pocket, which is kind of, I don't know if that's still true. So I would go to these different bases, and I would just CLEP, and I would just CLEP, and I would just CLEP, and DSST, and just whatever. I would look for that education office, and I ended up CLEPing and DSSTing 120 college hours. And I did the freshman comp, the one with the written one, the freshman, and the written one. Passed both of those. Passed speech, which is, they said speech is the hardest one to do because it's a 2-pronged test. And they said most people can't pass that because of the time limit and, how you do it, whatever. I passed both of those. I was at Keesler Air Force Base when I did most of my CLEPing. And they were just like, what is this guy doing? He's just CLEPing, just to do it. And that's what I did. I CLEPed all the humanities, all the generals. I did it all, 120 something hours. And they thought that I was like doing some kind of scam because I was in Osan one day, CLEPed over there. Then I'm coming back to Little Rock or whatever. I'm CLEPing over there. And they're like, wait a minute, this guy is doing all this other stuff. And I literally had to go because they thought I was scamming because I was passing all of these things. And they're like, how are you passing And, I'm just showing up doing it. And I literally had to go in front of my commander, Benny, because it went down to him. They're trying to figure out what is going on. And they were like, yeah, he's passing it. And, and I did it and no big deal. So, yeah, she had to see it. Yeah, you were TDY a lot, huh? Yeah, I stayed TDY. What? Come on, they're paying me to do this? The Pacific Channel, I did all of that, man. It was great. I didn't even waste my time. I took speech class, by the way. Never took speech with friends because they will make you laugh when you're trying to be serious and pass the class. Wow, you had to see your commander. They really doubted you. Well, it wasn't that they doubted me. It's just that, like in the CLEP system, wherever that system is, I was popping up in the main directory and in different bases. And they were like, wait a minute, because think about it. If I'm TDY, how many people that go TDY actually think of going to the education center and just taking a CLEP just to take it and then get on the plane the next day and then go home? And that's what I was doing. And they were like, wait a minute, this guy's name is popping up because in the CLEP, there's a base code that's part of the testing. It's to show where you tested at. And they were getting that base code all over the place and it alarmed them. And then when they realized that I was the guy, and I remember I was down at Keesler, long story short, I'm sorry. But it's a very, unique story. I was down at Keesler and they saw that's where the majority of my CLEPing was taking place. And they go down there to the education specialists, which were civilians that were probably military, whatever. And they asked them, they said, hey, this guy is over here, whatever. And they're like, yeah, he comes over here around lunchtime and he takes the tests. And, sometimes he passes most of them, but, when he fails them, he comes back in 6 months or whatever. And by the way, I'm not stationed at Keesler. I'm not stationed. My brother was stationed, and he's still there. I'm not stationed at Keesler. I'm just passing through and doing, because remember I'm in the reserve, so I'm kind of doing my thing. I'm stationed in Alaska and I'm doing CLEPing up there, but I'm doing a lot of it down there because we were on debt and stuff, flying C-130s. So I kind of stayed down there. And they asked the education specialist. They said, yeah, this he's passing. He's coming in here and they go, well, is he, material wise? They're like, no, he comes in, takes the test. You guys remember how do you take those tests? B, C, 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 B, 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 D. You remember those things? So I was just good at testing. I'm very good at testing. Miss Sweet Talk, good morning to you and Miss Princess. Good morning. Good morning. But that's a really interesting story. And they just couldn't believe it. And then as being a black guy, they're like, oh my God, and they were just like, we apologize and, whatever. But don't let him quit. Anything he starts, do not let him quit. I was talking to somebody this morning, other than my therapist, and we were talking about just being men and, and how things have changed and how it's just easier to quit things. And I see that's the problem in our community. Nobody stands on business. Everything's about whataboutisms. We need to get out of the whataboutisms. I know we want to see the world the way it's supposed to be, but that's not the world we live in. We live in the world that we live in, and that's how we should look at it. It's just a sad commentary that we have all this. What about this? And what about that? No, to hell with all that. To hell with all that. So I'm seeing a lot of people still crashing out, and they talk about they're for this democracy, whatever. And what I tell them is run a better candidate. The difference now is, do you see the difference in Donald Trump versus Joe Biden? All the promises that Joe Biden made, he didn't keep one to the Black community. Not one promise did he keep to the Black community. He didn't even promise the Asians anything and still gave them the bill. He didn't promise the illegals anything and still gave them the resources. He didn't promise the Afghans anything and gave them resources. If the Democrats want to win anything moving forward, You have to cater to the Black vote. And in the Black vote, it is that minority of those Black people that broke away that now control the narrative. We're not going to take these, well, when I get in office, if you get me in office, I'm going to do this. No, you got to show us up front, straight up. You guys notice that the CBC is, and all these groups are now talking about reparations. That's how bad they think of us. That's how stupid they think we are. Oh, let's just talk about reparations in a study. There's nothing to study. California's already done it. There's nothing else to study, you guys. Yes, Miss Sweet Talk, have a blessed day. Stay warm up there. Oh my gosh, we have a cold front coming down. Miss Sweet Talk, stay warm. Have a great day. So now it is apparent that the Democrats have to deliver for Black people, because in these next 4 years, I've been telling people, get your popcorn. Get your popcorn. A friend of mine, again, sends me this article where Donald Trump repealed some civil rights legislation by executive order, right? I was like, so what? Man, see, we told you, he gets in there, he gonna dismantle whatever. Ladies, I am so sick. I cannot believe you've got women that will sleep with these type of men. I don't believe he's gonna do that. I told you he was gonna do that. He take away civil rights and all this other stuff. Well, Negro, why don't you think of it this way? Maybe now we realize the government ain't for us. The Democrats ain't going to do it. The Republicans definitely ain't going to do it. Maybe we got to start doing for ourselves. Let's look at it that way. So what? Now we're going to have to fend for ourselves. We have no friends. It's evident. But why are these Negroes so dependent on the government to solve their problems when they can solve their problems themselves? That's what I don't understand. Hey, Michelle, good afternoon. It's still morning here, but good afternoon where you are at. And it amazes me that these men, excuse my language, you guys, because I just speak the way that I speak. I can't believe women are giving these type of dudes pussy. I just can't believe it. I can't believe it. If you go to my Facebook page, I have a thing on my Facebook page and it says, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. And what people don't realize is a lot of stuff that I've been talking about, I've been right. I've been right. In the long run, I've been right. Your average logical thinker says, I actually don't blame some of them. Look at Elon Musk acting a fool. He's tied to Trump and it's a bad look. Yeah, well, did you see all of the oligarchs sitting behind him during the inauguration? But here's the funny thing, your average logical thinker. I've been telling people that for the longest. We have an oligarchy in the United States. They were hidden under Biden or under Obama and all that other stuff. I saw it way back then when these guys are making, when one person is worth $6 billion, when a person is worth $1 billion, that's the rise of the oligarchy. How did nobody else not see that? I saw it, but I'm the problem because I'm pointing it out. But we're so wrapped up is Obama dating Jennifer Aniston and whatever? Who cares? Do you guys realize Obama, who's half white, he never dated a Black woman other than Michelle. She was the first and the only Black woman he ever dated. He's always swirled. Always. Where have you guys been? Mike Nice, what's up? Easy. How you doing? That dude. Yes, creepy. They say smash the patriarchy in one sentence and then lay up with white zaddy the next day. Right? And it's just crazy. And it just drives me crazy because as educated as a lot of these guys are, a lot of my friends are, a lot of them went to HBCUs, a lot of them went to high tech schools. And I'm talking to the men. When you teach fear, your average logical thinker, and those of you guys have a military background, as an officer, if we went into a combat situation and I am the one that is scared and I'm telling you guys, well, I'm not sure, even as a pilot, and the weather is bad out there or something is happening and you guys are trying to board the plane and I'm like, let's say you're a paratrooper and I'm like, man, the winds are pretty bad. I'm not sure. And I'm showing fear. Do you guys want to listen to me? Do you guys want to fly with me? No, you want somebody that's like, hey, been there, done that, no problem. Let's get it done. Let's roll. And that was basically my attitude until I got in a couple of problems because of that attitude. Messed up a couple of planes. Too much of that. Didn't listen to my loadmaster and ended up puncturing the deck of the airplane. My fault. But anyway, it just amazes me that these dudes are laid up with women and they're not putting their foot down. I'm not saying be a Ike Turner type person from the movie, which was total bullshit and it's totally fiction. I'm saying lead your family, be a man, make a decision. Some decisions aren't going to be always great. Some decisions aren't going to be, flawless. When I was an ops officer and I would be on vacation or I'd be TDY somewhere, I would get a call from my replacement back home. He'd say, hey, we got this going on, Donovan, what would you do? It ain't about what I do. It's what are you going to do? I'm over here. You won't learn anything if you're afraid to make the wrong decision. You only learn from mistakes. You don't grow in your knowledge because you're perfect. You grow in your knowledge because of the failures. Why is the reason Ronda Rousey got beat the way she did? Because she didn't grow. They gave her the belt. She dominated, and she started believing the hype. She didn't change her strategy, the lock arm thing, whatever, until she ran into somebody. She started believing her hype, number one. She wasn't a boxer, so she wasn't a striker, as they call it in the UFC. She wasn't a striker, but she started believing her own hype about her striking. You guys see her when she's like this? I was like, what the hell is that? And, okay, I'm into martial arts, but I was like, what is this? And she started believing her hype. And then when somebody stepped up to her that wasn't afraid, she got beat. Same thing with Mike Tyson. I wasn't a Mike Tyson fan. I'm still not really a Mike Tyson fan. He's a damn good boxer. I mean, he was knocking motherfuckers out. But there's an old saying, no matter how big and strong you are, eventually there's going to be somebody bigger, younger, and stronger that's going to take you out. Same thing with women. As beautiful as you women are, look at these younger girls that are coming up behind you guys. That's why you have women my age that are still trying to compete with 20-year-old girls and they look like damn fools. So again, it's just one of those things. My man Be Easy, that dude, who the hell didn't know there was an oligarchy? We live in a plutocracy. The sad thing is a lot of people, they don't think we live in an oligarchy. Well, Jeff Bezos, he's an Amazon guy and I shop at Amazon and I shop at Walmart. But they don't understand, again, especially Black people, because we're very ignorant. We don't understand the power behind what you see in the facade. Walmart seems like it's this, this chummy, down to earth store and stuff like that, reasonable prices. But what they're not telling you is most of their employees are subsidized by the taxpayer. In the town that I come from, when I was born in, not where I come from, I was born in, when Walmart came to town, that was the first time Black people in that town really had an opportunity to do something, because before then, either you worked for the white man as a domestic, or you worked at the local white-owned plants or the mom and pop stores. It was about who you knew. When Walmart came in there, oh, now you're corporate. Now everybody thinks they're corporate. It's just very sad. After like I think, or damn, Donovan, how much money did you cost the government while serving? I cost them a lot. Let me tell you. And people still joke about that today. I stuck it to the government when it came to the benefits. Because remember, you have to think I was a military brat. So I knew what I knew. And I stuck it to him. And I'm still sticking it to him. I'm still sticking it to him. With the VA, I'm still sticking it to him. 100%, space safe flights. But I haven't really, I'm supposed to be in Hawaii right now. There was a transport out of North Island. I didn't go because of Benny. Once I get Benny where I want him, I'm going to be heading out. But I still stick it to them. I cost them a lot of money. And then, when it came to problems, not too much. I just had a few things with the airplanes and stuff like that. Yeah, we need more men to, your average logical says, F them younger girls. See, now you say that, your average logical thinker, but when you were that young, fine little thing airman going to the club, it was all good. You know what I'm saying? Now you're an old bird and you're like, F them younger girls. You still got it? Okay, I got you. Look. I'm not saying you're delusional, but you got some women out here that will be with a good dude, or they think they have better options, and it's the most catastrophic mistake that they could ever make. They will leave their marriages thinking they have options, and they're not realizing women have a shelf life. And I'm not saying that nobody can love you or things like that. The basis of everything is this: when it comes to men, legacy is important to men. That's why when you talk to most men, when it comes to abortion, most men will not abort their children. And I'm not talking about these moist young men in the last 3 decades that have been raised by their mothers, where deletion of abortion is, go ahead and delete it like it's no big deal. Most men will not delete their children. They won't do it, especially men that are mean, that are actually out there doing something. Ray and Pookie, no, my mama gonna take care of me. These are guys that depend on women to live off of. We're talking about real men. And it's like we're in a Pizarro world. And I just, I see a lot of women my age that are going to be by themselves. I mean, and it's sad. My mother's a widow. She didn't necessarily prioritize remarriage. She married my stepdad. That didn't work out, and and she started doing what she wants to do. Love my mom to death. Don't get me wrong. Phenomenal woman. She did it twice. I don't blame her. Whatever. But what the women don't understand is, when you guys are out there by yourselves, you are now putting that burden on your children to make sure that you're okay. And I don't think that's fair at all. A lot of these women out here, they live off the government. This is why a lot of people are panicking now that Donald Trump is cutting these programs and stuff. They live off the government, whatever. They raise these shit show children that ain't got shit going on for them. And and then they're in a panic mode. I know older people that could be my aunts and uncles that are living off of $800 in Social Security. And I keep telling people in the Black community, why is it that only in the Black community that I've experienced, most Black people think Social Security is a retirement? It is not a retirement. It's a supplement. You are supposed to work your Black ass at a job, retire from that job, and then when your Social Security kicks in, it's supposed to supplement whatever it is you were making, which makes you have a good life as a senior person. But we've got people that, for some reason, they think, because they've been living off the government all along, that Social Security is some kind of retirement, and it's not. It's kind of crazy. But I see, especially in my generation, a lot of women that are going to be by themselves, and it's sad. It's sad. We deal with the lies that Black women love. Let me just say, this is why when I came on the live, let me sum this up. We have seen the Democratic Party use Black women, right? Backbone of the Democratic Party. Black women have been crashing out for the Democratic Party. You saw all of those pardons go out. Everybody, oh, Trump pardoned the J6ers and this, that. Fuck all that. He can do that. Joe Biden, as we've been telling you, a longtime Dixiecrat, a longtime racist. Oh no, he's changed. He's changed. Pardoned his family, pardoned all these white folks that, whatever, needed a pardon, whatever. I don't know what's going on with that. But did you guys notice Joe Biden did not pardon Fannie Willis? He did not pardon Marilyn Mosby. He did not pardon Alvin Bragg. He did not pardon any black person that crashed out against Donald Trump. Did you guys notice that? But I'm the crazy one. I think you're crazy that you put your career, your life, your freedom on the line for a party that doesn't do shit for you. And I kind of was wondering why Angela Rye was like crashing out for Marilyn Mosby and for these pardons and crying and shit. And I figured it out because I did my homework. She was Marilyn Mosby's attorney. I didn't know that. So the reason why she's doing all of this is she has a personal and professional interest in Marilyn Mosby being exonerated or getting a pardon. I did not know that, and I did my homework on it. Let's see. Beezy says protect your seed. They made a movie about Ray Ray and Pookie. It's called Baby Boy. Classic. Insert the son husband. Yeah, exactly. See, Easy understands it. We see it. People that average logical thinker, that logically think, we're using our logic before we use our emotion. Spock versus Kirk. Spock, logical. Kirk, on emotion, how he feels. Okay? That's the difference. And there's a time and a place for both of those things to be used intertwined. But unfortunately, black people are more emotional. We're just going to go off how we feel. We shouldn't do that. We should go off of logic. So logically, we should be sitting here saying, wait a minute, he pardoned all of these white folks who crashed out for the Democratic Party, so he protected them. But then all the black folks that crashed out, he didn't protect them. And now he's walked off into the sunset. We should be outraged about that, but we're not. Because we're Democrats. Democrat. Mike Nice. Yeah, I didn't. Thank you. I don't think, you're a logical thinker. I don't think there's somebody for everybody. Some people need to be alone. Yeah, but see, I agree with you on that. But that's a small number of people. Everything, there's always an exception to the rule, and it's a small number. Again, let's talk about deletion. I know it's a very divisive thing. Number one, you do not run on abortion if you're running for public office because you alienate men. Number one, you alienate men, which again, most men, real men, we don't delete our children. So critical mistake on the Democrats and Kamala Harris. As much as I cannot stand that woman, that was a critical mistake. Do not run on abortion. You run on your record. You run on the issues that are important to the people. How many of you guys saw my video of me at City Council? Just letting you guys know, we don't just talk it. We actually live it. But so you don't talk about. There's always that small number, right? So you don't run on abortion. But let's talk about abortion real quick. Whenever I talk to a woman about abortion, the first answer, and it's almost like you guys have a playbook, and you go to the playbook and you say, well, if somebody asks you this is what you say. So, oh, well, Donovan, a woman should have the right to abortion because, what if her life is in danger? If you read the law, there is always an exception for an abortion when the mother's life is in danger. There's always that exception. Everybody knows that. Everybody accepts that. Okay? Nobody has a problem with that. In the life of the mother, if you got to do what you got to do, you got to do what you got to do. It's between the doctor, the mother, whatever. Everybody understands that. But see, and this is the lunacy that is going on in the world today. The majority of women who are having abortions That isn't the case. It's a small number of medical situations where the mother's life is in danger and you got to abort or whatever. Most women are having abortions because of their poor choices in their sexual deviances. You're having casual sex and shit happens. Now, I'm a firm believer most people on the planet Earth are not here because our parents wanted us here. But we're here because we were born within the marriage and it is what it is. And they just live with that. I do not believe, and it's a small percentage of people that say, hey, let's plan out our children and let's just do that. That's a small portion. Most people, they get married, they're humping like bunny rabbits and shit happens. And then go back to my grandfather's day, and back in the day, you're expected to have a big family to contribute to the plantation or the whatever else you were doing. You know, everybody had big families back then so that the family could be successful and they worked together. But that's not the case nowadays. Because of feminism, women actually believe they can do the same thing men can do and have the same exact outcome. And that's not true. We don't end up pregnant. Men don't end up pregnant. And I don't know if you guys have followed me on the Demitri K show, and Demitri K asked the question, why is it that men, do what they do, whatever, or benefit from what they do, or the favoritism toward men? And the answer I gave, which was very blunt and to the point, is because men benefit from the patriarchy. We live in a patriarchy. Everywhere in the world, there is a patriarchy. There is no matriarchy in the world. I know a lot of you women have watched the movie Wonder Woman. You're saying, yeah, Wonder Woman. Yeah, there's an Amazonian society where women control everything. Fantasy. Please point out in the world where there's a matriarchy. There is none. So when there's a system that is set up by a gender, that gender benefits from that system. Simple as that. If there was a matriarchy, what would be the point of the matriarchy? Who would benefit from that system? Women. But it just doesn't exist. And no matter how much you women fight and kick and crawl against the patriarchy, it's not going to happen. You're not going to benefit from a system that doesn't benefit you. Your lot in the system is where you're at. That's it. It's just, and it was put up that way by God. So who are we to go against that system? Unless you're a devil. So anyway. And some people are going to be alone forever. No, and I get it. I get to that point myself. Like, hey, maybe I just need to be by myself. But see, as a man, though, a man could be alone because fundamentally, from the time that we were teenagers and we started, becoming men, the hormones started kicking in. Men fundamentally don't change. Women go through drastic change. You guys formulate into women, young women, and you formulate, ovulate, and you go through all that stuff. And then once you wind down through your birthing years, then you guys go through a change again. And then you guys shut down. The factory is shut down and all that other stuff. But it's just the lunacy of how we think the outcomes are going to be the same. The outcomes are never going to be the same. And I don't know why women do not use their logic and understand that. It doesn't make you a lesser person. It doesn't make you a better person or anything like that. It's just the way it is. Easy says he pardoned Marcus Garvey, which no one asked for. What about Assata Shakur? Yeah, and we've been saying that for a long time. And notice, once again, a person who isn't of FBA lineage gets benefit. I'm not against Marcus Garvey. He gets benefit, but he's not an FBA. But again, like you said, Assata Shakur, she couldn't be pardoned. The Black Panthers couldn't be pardoned. Native Black people of the soil, we don't get pardons. Oh yeah, Sleepy Joe pulled a sucker move before he left. Yep. Your average logic says makes sense. Logical lumps, emotions. You and your 4 cats and the dog. Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm by myself. Right. I got a dog and 4 cats. right? Yeah, so that's the life I live. But see, the outcome for men is different because I, as a man, the last time I went down to the Dominican Republic, there was a female veteran. Let me tell you guys something. As the mayor of Sosua, do not let these women get in your face talking about passport bros and stuff. And your average logical thinker, you know what I'm talking about. Don't let them get in your face, making it seem like it's just men out there acting a damn fool. I went to the DR with this fellow veteran. She's retired. She went over there and she got it cooking, okay? I'm telling you, she was getting her little Dominican romancing, and she was going through them. And she was my age, okay? Let me tell you guys that. She was my age. And I wasn't shocked because I was in the military. Your average logical thinker, you know what I'm talking about. But she was unapologetic about her. She was like, look, I'm doing exactly what you guys are doing. Coming down here to have a good time, to get ran through, whatever. And she was doing, and she was paying. She was paying, just like, the guys that were paying, she was paying too. Saw her one morning. I said, hey, what's going on? She's like, oh, nothing. I was like, hey, how's everything going? She goes, yeah, I'm doing, whatever. And you know how military people we talk, it don't matter. And she was like, yeah. She goes, I had this one guy, I had to shoot him out of the room. He wouldn't want to leave. I said, yeah, it happens like that. These women are doing the same stuff overseas. Trust me. And they're doing it well. They're doing it well. Trust me. Trust me. Sunlight, how you doing? Good morning to you. Good afternoon. I survived the snowstorm in Florida. I broke out yesterday. Yeah, we have a winter rain coming. Is it Friday or Saturday? I think we have one coming Saturday, which will put snow on the mountains here. So let me try to catch up with these comments. In a matriarchy, women would be in charge, which means more of them need to join the military front lines, pay the bills as the breadwinner, open doors, fight off intruders, propose in marriage. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They benefit from a matriarchy, but a matriarchy doesn't exist. So that is why men benefit from a system that's set up to benefit them. Women are doing all of that. See, your average. See, thank you for your honesty. Because there are so many women that want to run around here and act like they're the Virgin Mary. They're just Victorian. They got their collars up here and they're just, no. These women, your average logical thinker, I'm telling you, I was in the DR. These women were, in my opinion, worse than the dudes. But let's give it its whole thing. Of course, they're going to be worse than the dudes. They're females. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. She was like doing 2 and 3. You don't have to pay a guy a lot of money to get some happiness. You know what I mean? Whereas like as a guy, I would have to pay a lot of money to do what I need to do or whatever down there. But I'm telling you, these women were getting, I'm gonna show you how bad it was. We were in a bar and the DJ had to make an announcement that you cannot have relations in public in the Dominican Republic. You cannot record in their establishment because that's what these women veterans were. They were getting crunk. They were getting crunk, straight up. So let me catch up that. Don says, I was going to say this once again. It is not about color or race. It's about bloodline. Yeah, exactly. Sunlight. Oh boy, you added again. Of course. Demitri is not on this show. I am unchained and untethered. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth if you like it or not, because my hashtag line, I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Right? She got the back blown out for a few pesos. Yeah, I'm telling you, I mean, I was dapping her. I was like, yeah, get yourself. We were having a good time. Everyone was having a good time, but there was no way I would have been keeping up with her. There was no way that I was doing what she was doing. But she was an older lady, my age, in my age range, maybe a year or two older than me. She was okay, attractive, she wasn't like, but she was okay looking. And she was getting her back blown out. No problems. Your average logical thinker, I don't want to get to that point where I got to pay. Hell nah. Well, you're a logical thinker. You being from San Diego, a military area, you know when that ship goes out and the ship comes in, the girls are all sitting on the deck, waiting to go. Michelle says, I saw on the news the other day that the AIDS in the DR is very high. I could never sleep with some random man. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but maybe, maybe you're seeing a report that I haven't seen yet. But at the same time, though, Michelle, I've been reading reports here in the United States. Houston is off the chain. Atlanta is off the chain. Philadelphia is off the chain. And this is just in the black areas that we're talking about. We're not talking about, we're out there doing some stuff. Yeah, Miss Sweet Talk, these women are paying here and not just overseas. Yeah, but the thing is, they're paying these wannabe pimps. That's what's sad about it. You're paying these bums. If you're gonna pay, and take your money and give your money to these dudes or whatever, I'm sorry. I just can't see them paying that type of money here in the United States as a woman, when any woman could walk outside and just say, hey, who wants to have sex with me? And somebody will step up. That's just my saying. Easy. So they went to the DR to get some, RD, raw dog. Yeah. Let me catch up with these comments, you guys. I got to get out of here and get ready to go. Let's see. Your logical thinker says, true. If you let a man live with you and not pay no bills, she paying 100%. Exactly. Everybody's laughing. Sunlight, that's not necessarily true. Have you seen Martin Lawrence, Michelle Pfeiffer, Jimmy Walker, Kadeem Hardison? Kadeem Hardison. Those men look drastically different as they age. Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, we all thank God JFK is in the administration, and he's going to get all these additives and stuff out of the food and stuff. He's going to try to get all that stuff out. Did you guys see that clip of that HBCU cheerleading squad, or what do you call those squads? They were coming out of the audience, and all the girls were obese. And this was a black HBCU. The girls they looked like they were in their 30s and 40s. And it's just something in the food and in the diet. And like I said, when you're feeding your kids top ramen and the easy, quick foods, that has a definite bad effect in the black family, because a lot of these women can't cook. They don't know how to cook. They just don't. Fast, whatever. And then you see these kids that are morbidly obese. They don't get any exercise because the mom bought them a PlayStation, gave them a tablet. They don't move. And if you guys remember Michelle Obama, when she was the first lady, that was one of her main things she championed, was get outside and move, just do something. So in our community, we have an exorbitant amount of women that are obese. It's just facts. I know we want to deflect, but those are the facts. And men too. In our community, we have morbidly obese people. We just do. Lablox Thinker says, how old were these women, Donovan? I'm trying to see something. I would say this woman had to have been 57 when I was down there. And a lot of them were like in their 40s and stuff, because we would go to the VA clinics and you'd see them in the morning having our coffee and stuff. And we'd be like, hey, what are you getting in today? Oh, I'm going to go on the boat. I'm going to do this. And they were having a good time. Like I said, all my women veterans, you guys know how I feel. Hey, if we can do it, you can do it too. Just, but let's be real about it. Don't, let's not be trying to be Victorian and all this other stuff. We're in the military. We do what we do. We spread that democracy. And the main way we spread democracy is we leave kids in every country we conquer. He said, Donovan Uncensored. I like Donovan Uncensored. Sunlight says, Donovan, I told you it doesn't work like that. I know. He was not a good look. Yeah. Obese stuff. No, Sunlight, I know you don't want to accept that, but it is statistically proven in our community, most of our women are obese. That is true. Now, what your definition of obese is and my definition might be different, but according to the body scale, a lot of us are overweight. We are overweight. A lot of us, men and women, but more so women compared to men, because you guys have extra ornaments hanging off of you and you got hips and, you know, all that other stuff. But, we really got to stop doing that. We really got to stop operating in fantasy land. We got to see it for the way it is. When I go to the store around the first of the month, I don't see no Tyra Banks looking women when I go to the store. That's very rare. I see women that are got meat on their bones. If I ask them to run a mile and a half, they probably couldn't do it. These are just facts. These are just facts. I do not see, when I go to the gym, there are almost no black women in the gym here in California. I'm just speaking for California. I can go to LA Fitness. I'll see the Mexicans. I'll see the whites. I'll see whatever. You might see one or two black women, one or two. And the black women that you do see in the gym, they're very young. They're very young black women, girls. I would say girls at my age. These are very young girls. Women my age, they don't. And here's the truth, Sunlight. I know you don't want to hear this. A lot of women my age, between the ages of 35 and my age and older, one of the main reasons they don't want to go to the gym is because if you go to the gym and you're really working out, you're sweating. They don't want to sweat their weave out because it's bad enough it stinks already. It stinks already because you've had it on your head for 4 weeks. You haven't washed your head in 4 weeks. So going to the gym, because resources are limited, and a real good weave is about $400, $500, right? I know this because Demitri is a former beautician and my aunt is a master beautician, right? A good weave, and you usually go through you change your weave out, I would say every 4 weeks. A good weave. So you're looking at $400 to $600 a month just in your hair. So you think you're going to go to the gym and no, and that's the stupidness of our women. They will not go to the gym for those type of reasons. Oh, I don't want to sweat my hair out. I don't want to do that because it's a protective style. This hat is a protective style. It keeps the sun off of my dome. Now, my head sweats. I got to wash this hat every now and then because of the sweat that's in it, right? A weave is the same thing, or a wig is the same thing, however you want to look at it. But that's the truth. I mean, I know you guys like to spin it and all this other stuff to make it look good, but men have been telling you, especially black men, we don't like weave. And Sunlight, I know you don't wear, weave like that or whatever the deal is, but the fact of the matter is, it's just the truth. We got to start talking truth to our situation and where we're at in this country and where we're going to go. Let's just talk truth, Let's see. Gosh, you guys, stop typing. Let's see. I'm going to have to skip down here. Let's see. Yeah, these wannabe pimps. Wait. Okay, let me get to it. Good afternoon, Miss Sweet Talk, talking to Mike. Good luck. Okay, Michelle says, I saw it. They were huge. Not a good look. Not obese. Stop it. What? Isn't that the clinical word, obese? Miss Sweet Talk says, so men in America will F anything is what I'm getting. Miss Sweet Talk. Okay. See, you ladies, you guys have got to stop thinking for men, okay? Because you guys want men to think like women. That will never happen, okay? I know you guys want us to, but we're programmed differently. I'm going to be raw and honest with you, Miss Sweet Talk. You could be the fattest chick out there. You could be precious, okay? If you hang around a man long enough, he will fuck you. He will fuck you. Now, your average logical thinker, I was on the island of Diego Garcia for a year. For a year. If Precious was on that island, she would be fucked. Am I lying or am I dying? But it's true, because men are very simplistic. We are very simplistic. we are programmed to mate as much as we can get away with. Yes. Because if we weren't programmed that way, the human race would die. That's why we've got these Fruit Loops running around, right? That think they're women, which is fine. You can go ahead and do that because that just means that there's more women for the rest of us. So our odds go up when these Fruit Loops go that way. So yeah, men are we are very simple creatures. So some men, yeah, HIV rates, yeah. Yep, armed forces are super freaks, yes, because we have access to, people who don't have resources as much as the United States. Sunlight, I'm referring to the pronunciation. It's obese, not obese. Well, I know it's obese, but I say obese for a reason. I was a big Tommy Sotomayor listener when he first started, him and Brother Phil, and I go way back on the internet. You know what? I won't even say obesity anymore. How about the T1000? I'll just call it the BT1000. Oh man. Okay. Anyway, you guys, I don't want to keep you guys too much longer. Jim, I do Kegels to do that count. Yep. And again, I get it. Some women don't want to do. Like I said, I'm a skinny man, by nature, but I still have to go to the gym at my age, because I'm not gonna. Just because I'm skinny doesn't mean I'm fit. And Sunlight, we had to talk about that a long time ago. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean you're fit. So you have to go to the gym and do things like that to get your blood vessels going on. Somebody told me to start drinking a dose of beet juice like every other day, because beet juice has nitrates in it, which opens your blood vessels and stuff, and it makes you breathe. It makes your blood vessels a lot better. And if you are having infantile problems, you know what I mean? If you're having problems, especially as you get older, a lot of men encounter that. You don't need a prescription of Viagra or anything like that. Either eat more leafy greens that has nitrates in them, spinach is really good with that, or beet juice. And that should be able to solve the issue with that. So ladies, if you have a husband or a man that needs a little help, you might want to feed him more greens and more beet juice. Donovan, how are you doing today? Michael, how you doing? I'm doing great. I'm going to get out of here. Donovan, Miss Sweet Talk says, it's different for women. I like to feel safe in my surroundings. Yeah. But then you have those military women. And we're not even talking about the women Marines. Oh, my God. That, hey, they're just like dudes, man. On the aspect of, hey, I'm going to go get mine and do what I got to do. It's just how you look at it. Trying to keep warm. How are you? Mike Nice says, okay, he's doing good. Miss Sweet Talk says, no Steve Harvey book. Oh, that guy was, I don't even understand how women even listen to that guy. It's called Common Sense. I'm not a man. Why would I think like one? Exactly. And then here's a guy that's been screwed over two previous wives, and black women are listening to this guy like he's some kind of guru. And then now he's married to the trap queen. Miss We Talk, Michael Pan, you guys are talking to each other. Okay, anyway. Again, I don't want to keep up too much. But the whole point of this is people are still crashing out. We got to move forward. And that's the thing. See, this is how they got us pinned against moving this country forward. If you like Trump or if you hate Trump, it doesn't matter. We got to look at areas where we could benefit from. Do I expect anything from Donald Trump? I don't, because again, he didn't promise me anything. But if we do get something, great. One of the things he's doing, immigration, that helps black people 100%. 100%. But it is amazing how these hardcore Democrat black folks have all this smoke for Donald Trump and how he's pardoning and doing all this other stuff that he's doing. But yet, Marilyn Mosby, all of these black people that put their careers and their lives on the line for the Democratic Party, and he just walked out without giving them a pardon. But that's because he's a Dixiecrat. He's always been a racist. He's a man of his time. And he's shown you that. He has shown us who he is. And the new black media, you guys, we all called it out and we said a leopard doesn't change its spots. It just doesn't. But we got to still control. We got to stop Donald Trump. Stop Donald Trump from doing what? What are we supposed to stop Donald Trump from doing? Maybe now we can get off our asses and stop relying on the government, because it's evident to me the government is not going to solve our problems. We have to solve our problems. It is evident to me. Your average logical thinker, she is raising a son and she is preparing him for the future. For her to be able to do that, she has to look at the playing field that we are operating in right now and look at the future. The future is not chains for black people. Even the point of slavery is useless, because black people as slaves would be useless in a technological age. We would be useless. This is why they brought all these other people over here. But oh, we're gonna be slaves, y'all. We gotta go do this. We gotta. It would be useless. At this point, it is evident to me, and Sunlight's even said it. And like I said, I'm glad, even though Sunlight and I, we don't agree on a lot of stuff, and a lot of us, you guys, we don't agree. We don't agree on a lot of stuff. But where do we agree? One thing that we can agree on: the Democratic Party they've shown us their behinds. Okay, they've done it. We know the Republicans ain't gonna do shit. We have to rely on ourselves at this point. They have gentrified us physically, moving us out of our neighborhoods, and they have politically gentrified us. Jasmine Crockett, she's up there with all that rah-rah, but the question is, what bills has she put down to represent the interest of black people? That's the question we need to be asking. You sound good, but what? Ladies, the rent is due, right? The rent is due. You just saw the notice in the mailbox today. I come home. Donovan, what's up with the rent? Well, honey, I went down there and I told him what I was going to do. I told him they ain't going to be bringing no more bills to my house. I told him whatever. Total detachment from reality. Me giving them a show is not going to stop the bill from being damn due. Come on, y'all. And whatever issues black men and black women have between each other, know this: that was by design. So once we understand that that was a mechanism put in to separate the black man and woman, once we understand that, that's step one. Step two is we need to reconcile with each other and say, okay, this is where we're at right now. You want to be the leader of this. We want to be the leader of that. Great. Right now, we don't have the time to worry about that. We need to reconcile and come together to fight this damn devil. Then we could hash out the issues between man and woman. And if the black woman wants to go her own way, so be it. But now is not the time to have that discussion. The discussion we need to have right now is coming together. There's an old saying: a stick by itself is easily broken. And that's what they've done to us. They've separated our women and our children and all this bullshit so that they can pick us off one by one. Break, break, break. But if we are together as a bundle, it's very hard to break a bundle when it's together. And that's a fact. We got to come together first. Forget all the bullshit and all the rah-rah and all this other stuff. We have to come together first. And we got to know our roles. And unfortunately, ladies, I'm sorry to say this, and you guys should be with me. You shouldn't ever want to sleep with the man that doesn't want to lead. Men, we need to come up with a plan, and the ladies back us up in support. Simple as that. We need the support of our women. And if we got to fill these jails, if we got to go out and do what we got to do, so be it. So be it. But in the meantime, we got to be on one accord. If the ladies want to go do their thing We'll address that later, because right now, and what they're doing, they're eradicating us at record levels. We don't have a voice. Oh, Trump just got rid of the Civil Rights Act thing of whatever, whatever. So what? So what? What are you going to do? What you going to do? What you going to do? They just burned down a whole black community in Altadena, California. What you going to do? So what? We got to come together, you guys. We got to stop the foolishness. We can address the issues between black men and black women later. Right now, man, it's the fourth quarter. We're on the 5-yard line. We got to score a touchdown to win. What are we going to do? Where are our unapologetic black leaders? We are not in a position to deal with excuses anymore. No more excuses. That's where we're at. But let you guys know, I walk it like I talk it. These are some greens. All right, I already ate it from last night. And again, you guys are doing a great job. Like, share, subscribe, get this message out. If you guys saw my video at City Council, you got to start there. I know everybody wants to know what's going on nationally. You know what Trump is doing? It doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? At the local level is where you need to start. If you don't know who your mayor is, if you don't know who your congressman is, if you don't know who your supervisor is, if you don't know who your alderman is, the problem is not the government. The problem is you. The problem is you. You don't know what's going on in your own community. While the Mexicans are making a whole bunch of soccer fields, we don't have black FBAs in American baseball anymore. I have 5 council members on my city council. 5 of them. 4 of them are Hispanic. 4. We have 1 black woman who is the everybody. We got to get along with everybody. So she's ineffective. 1/3 of my city is black. We have no representation whatsoever. I've been telling you guys, this is the playbook of the Democratic Party. Sunlight says, is anyone calling out the Boule for being able to raise over $1 billion that went into white hands but can't rebuild black communities in Cali? No, not at all. Because they like to deflect. Oh, did you hear about Michelle Obama and they're getting a divorce and all that? We love to be entertained. We can't stay on focus. We are on ADD. We have ADD. We can't stay on code for shit. That's what's going on, you guys. Kamala Harris is going to run for governor. Right. You guys, I'm just going to tell you what I think. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. And unfortunately, I've been right, which is kind of scary when it comes to politics, because that's what I do. I like politics. And I'm telling you, I know a lot of people can't see it. These little areas of these black communities, like Atlanta, down in the South and stuff. Yeah, you see all these black people, but why is it so poor there? When I went to Africa, I looked around and I said, you got all of these rich black people running around here, but the majority of the black people are in poverty. Then I come back to the United States and I look around and I say, we have the same shit going on here. All them Negroes in Atlanta talk about like Atlanta's some goddamn Mecca. And when you look at the skyline of Atlanta, Negroes don't own none of that. They don't own none of it. But Atlanta, I got this in Atlanta. You guys, and I'm not trying to brag, because being a millionaire in California, that's average. The average home in California is $800,000. So technically, I'm a millionaire and I'm poor and I'm average. Now, I could take this money and go to Atlanta and I'd be, I could get me a nice little spot. I could go on the side, get me a nice little spot. But at what cost? But at what cost? Ms. Sweet Talk says Latinos know how to stick together for a greater purpose. We don't care about each other. That's the difference. But see, Ms. Sweet Talk, what we keep forgetting is we were the ones that wrote that blueprint. If it wasn't for us coming together during the civil rights movement, none of these people would be here. They have used birthright citizenship as an excuse to become American citizens and take advantage of the law. That birthright citizenship was initially to protect the freedmen after slavery was abolished. It was specific to FBAs, and then I think it was in the 1890 something. The Supreme Court kind of quantified what it meant, whatever the deal is, and so these other countries come here and abuse it. Now, I know you guys have heard Demitri and I talk about the Panama Canal and whatever, and how the Panamanians are talking about, oh, I wish we ain't giving America nothing, whatever the deal is. Okay. I love Demitri to death. I was stationed in the Panama Canal. Okay. The treaty, if you guys read it, like I said, we don't like to read. If you read it, the treaty gives the United States the exclusive right to protect the canal. We're the only country that can do it. Oh, I wish the Americans would try to come and take this canal. We're going to show them. How many of you guys know Panama doesn't have a standing army? How many of you guys know that? But we give them millions of dollars in aid. And this is the disrespect we get. There is nothing stopping the United States from taking over that canal that we built. We can take it over just like that. How many of you guys were around during the invasion of Panama in 1989 when Manuel Noriega was talking all that shit? And what did George Bush do? Former CIA director. It took all of what? 3 days? 3 days? And this is where we're at. See, Donald Trump, and I can see what he's saying. The respect that we should have in the world has eroded under Democratic policy. And that's all he's saying. How the fuck are you taking our money and then disrespecting us when we say something? If you don't want to listen to us, stop taking our money. Stop asking us for support. If it wasn't for us supporting your dictatorship, you would be overthrown by your own people right now. How many of you guys forget George Bush wanted to go into Venezuela and handle some business over there because of who was their popular president that ended up dying mysteriously? Chavez. Wanted to get rid of Chavez. One thing Donald Trump will do is restore the respect of the United States. And we're not going to be going into any wars because he said, hey, I'm not for war. Donald Trump isn't for war. But he said, if you want to play that game, we can play it. So we got to know what we're talking about. The Dominican Republic, they don't have an army. Haiti doesn't have an army. There's a lot of countries out here that don't have armies. So to talk all that yin yang, you can talk it all you want. How long do you think it would take for America to go into Mexico? Why do you think Donald Trump called the cartels terrorist organizations now, that now gives, and he's sending all the troops to the border because now it's going to give America the excuse, and this is from my friend Bruce, it's going to give the Americans the excuse to do incursions into Mexico and eradicate those cartels. Why hasn't Mexico taken care of the cartels? Why do we have to take care of it? Why do we have to take care of it is because it's a it's a threat to American citizens as all that fentanyl is coming over here, killing all these American citizens. But did the Democrats do anything about it? Nothing. Zero. We have to get back to common sense, you guys. There are only two genders. There is not a third gender in the world. Either you're male or you're female. Oh, well, Donovan, there's a such thing as called a hermaphrodite. You know, they have the both parts. That's an anomaly. Why is it that we take the anomaly of a situation and we try to apply it to everybody? It's an anomaly. So anyway, you guys, I just wanted to come on here real quick. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. Got to go to the VA tomorrow. I know some of you guys are seeing I'm splotching and stuff. And as you guys know, I got leukemia, and that's part of the process of doing that. And I'm not going anywhere. But if you haven't checked out my video of me talking at City Council, I put it up. It's up there. Take a look at it. And I'm pointing out, and I want you guys to think about this. The reason I'm pointing this out with my mayor, it isn't that he did anything criminally wrong. It's ethically wrong. I want you guys to think about this. If you've got 22 million people who come from countries where corruption of their political leaders is acceptable, 22 million in less than 4 years, what do you think is happening in our politics today when we let these people get on city council, get on supervisor, become governors, become this and that? They become legislators. This is where the corruption is coming from. I'm not saying America has been perfect, but in the last 25 to 30 years, we have seen a shift in the culture of politics to mass corruption. Why is that happening? Because Americans are Americans, but would you think that maybe the immigration that is coming in here with their culture, because the only group of people whose culture has totally been eradicated has been the FBA. Religion is taken from us. Our language is taken from us. Everything was taken from us, and we had to learn the white man's way. We're the only group that experienced that. We're the only group that came here involuntarily. These other groups come in here, and their language is printed out for them. Everything is handed out to them. Their cultures remain intact. All of this stuff is done for them. And we sit here and think the reason why our politics has gone to shit isn't because a certain group of people have brought their culture with them. And I'm not saying that to be negative. See, people are going to say, well, you're trying to be negative and racial. No, that isn't what I'm saying. You only know what you know, right? So if you bring that culture where you think, well, there's nothing wrong with a politician getting his beak wet. No, in your country, there's nothing wrong with that. But in this country, there is. And this is why our resources are being used for their compadres and these black boule Negroes who think that once they eradicate most of us, how long do you think it's going to be before, if they get rid of the 70% of black people, how long do you think the boule will last before they get rid of them? Now, I'm not a rich man, but the reason why I keep speaking up for the majority of black people, and I align myself with the majority of black people, is because I know I need them as a buffer class to keep me secure. Michael says, Donovan, the problem is that the U.S. Constitution does not make English an official language. Well, and it doesn't have to be the official language, but the fact of the matter is that is the language of the United States. It doesn't have to be codified in law. What's that going to do? Michael, think about it. See, I like your technicality. We got laws that say you can't come in this country illegally. Again, what does it matter? Why is it, oh, we got to go by law here, but when it comes to this, oh, we got to be benevolent. We got to do all this other stuff. No, fuck all that. Either we're a nation of laws or we're not. And I don't think we have to codify anybody to speak a specific language, because if we do that, then we would have to codify a religion. What makes America great is that we can pull from all of these different cultures and live together somehow, some way, and do what it is we need to do. That's what makes us unique. This is why we have all the problems in this country, because we are not one people. We are several people that are fighting for limited resources. That's the issue. Michael says, I disagree with you that U.S. Constitution should not make English an official language. English needs to be codified. Well, that's your opinion. I don't think so. Like I said, you've got Italians that are here. You've got people that have migrated the right way, and they don't care to learn English. And that's perfectly fine. If you want to speak your own language, it's going to limit you. Yes, it's going to limit you. Unfortunately, if you can't speak English, you might not be able to get a federal job. You might not be able to join the military, but that's a decision you need to make. But if you are going to come and immigrate to a country, I would think out of respect and love for that country that you want to immigrate to, you would do everything that is possible to assimilate. To assimilate. Donovan, when you were in Japan, you had to learn Japanese, right? No, I didn't. I didn't have to learn Japanese. I did not have to learn Japanese. Because remember, I'm a guest there. I did not have to learn Japanese. Because remember, in those countries, not like America, you cannot be a citizen ever in that country. I could be married to a national, but doesn't mean I'm a citizen. I'm not a citizen. I can't own property. I can't own anything there. I can't do anything there. So ending birthright was good. Yeah, it's an executive order to end birthright, but it's not law. So it's something that now they can take up to the Supreme Court and that they can make it law. But executive orders does not trump, pun intended, the Supreme Court's role in government. So he can't just make up laws because he's the president. It doesn't work that way. Mike Nice, Michael Pan Donovan, America is too individualistic, which causes a lot of problems between immigrants and Americans. Exactly. Everybody's supposed to stick up for their own, and that's human nature. That's just human nature. Michelle W., I lived in South Korea in the 90s. I did not have to learn Korean, although I did learn a little of the language while I was there. Yeah, and like I said, most military people, we're there as guests. You pick up what you need to pick up, and you go about your business because I know I'm coming back to the United States. But no, it shouldn't be compelled. I shouldn't have to be compelled to learn that language, especially if I'm there not at my own behalf. But if I'm going to assimilate to a country and migrate to a country, I would assume you would assimilate. That just makes sense. Why wouldn't you? If I'm going to move to the Dominican Republic, I damn sure going to learn Spanish. And I've been working on my Spanish, So again, you guys, it's going to be interesting 4 years. The best advice I'm going to give you guys about this is grab your popcorn, get ready for the show. It's going to be interesting because at this point, if the Democrats want to win election, they are going to have to cater to that black vote. And we're talking about deliver the black vote. They're going to have to. Because now you got the CBC, they're all talking, study, we're going to study. Wow. After losing the election, you just now realize you lost the election because of that black vote. You guys realize that? They don't want to talk about it, but Kamala Harris lost the election in those swing states because she lost the black vote. That 28% of black people that did something else cost her the election. It's just a fact. But get that popcorn, watch back. Look, you have nothing to worry about. We're black people. We're at the bottom of the economic scale. Nothing can happen to us. A strong man comes into it. Has your life changed? Are you still being oppressed as a black person in this country? You were oppressed under Biden. What's going to change for us? What's going to change as black people? We were at the bottom of this system. What is going to change? The only thing that can change is us. And we have to realize we can no longer depend on government to solve our problems. We have to solve our own problems. Donovan, Saadiq, Inland Empire Informer. I'm going to see you guys a little bit later. Have a great day. If something comes up, we will definitely be back on the stream. Don't forget to check out Demitri K tomorrow. She's going to be on. Yeah, Odd Negroes Official. Government is not the answer. Exactly. How did slaves who were pushed off the plantation go and build businesses and Black Wall Street and all these other things, and we have all these tools and we can't seem to do anything for ourselves? It's like the movie Life. Remember the movie Life, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence? That's a good analogy. The movie Life. Remember what Martin Lawrence told Eddie Murphy? We can help everybody else, but we can't seem to help ourselves. Man, your Odd Negroes Official, that just popped in my head when you said that. That is a great analogy of our situation. The movie Life, since we like to be entertained as black people. The movie Life. Everybody was getting out. Remember? Everybody was getting out. Can't act right. He got out. They're helping everybody else get out, but they couldn't get out. That is black people in a nutshell. I'm going to start using that. I'm going to start using that. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. You know, we're enjoying ourselves. We're eating. The government is, while they were in jail, the government was housing them and was feeding them. That's black people in general. That's black people in general. All right, you guys. You guys have a great day. I'm serious this time. I'm going to get off here. It's an hour and 30 minutes. It's been great. But have your popcorn ready. It's going to be interesting. Talk to you guys later.